I made a handmade gift for my father-in-law's retirement party. He opened it, looked at me, and said, "You should sell these when the job market gets tight." Everyone laughed. I smiled and said, "Funny? I was thinking of sending you a bill for emotional labor." I'm 39, married for 7 years. My husband is a good guy. Honest, hardworking, a bit naive when it comes to family politics, but who isn't? His dad, Robert, just retired from his job as a senior project manager for a construction company based in Chicago. Worked there 38 years. Very old school. Very I did it myself so you should too energy. You know the type. Wears the same watch for 20 years. Thinks therapy is for quitters. Loves telling people to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. I've always tried to be polite. He's never liked me. Too artsy. Too emotional. I'm a woodworker, which in his eyes is a hobby, not a job, even though I've sold hundreds of pieces. So, Robert's retirement party. His wife, my MIL. Rented a beautiful venue near the Chicago River. 150 guests. Suits and dresses. Open bar. Fancy little crab cakes being passed around on silver trays. I spent 3 weeks making him a custom wooden keepsake box. Walnut. Hand-carved details of construction tools on the lid. Inside was lined with velvet and had compartments for watches, cufflinks, whatever. Took me 50+ hours. I skipped a few paid orders to make time for it. Thought maybe, just maybe, this would show him I respected his career, even if he never respected mine. Big mistake. Gift time comes. People are handing him bottles of whiskey, golf balls, a framed retirement plaque. Then it's my turn. He opens the box, stares at it, runs his hand along the edge like he's checking the wood grain. Then he chuckles. "You should sell these when the job market gets tight." People laughed. Not like a gentle laugh. It was loud. Real. Like I was the punchline. I stood there, trying not to let my face fall. I smiled. "Funny. I was thinking of sending you a bill for emotional labor." More laughter. But this time more awkward. More confused. My husband's face turned red. He whispered, "Why would you say that?" under his breath. I didn't answer. I didn't eat that night. I sat at the table while everyone else danced and drank and toasted to Robert's legacy. My gift sat unopened on the gift table like an unwanted toy on Christmas morning. The car ride home was silent. My husband tried to start conversation, but I kept my answers short. The next day, I took back my gift. Walked right into their house, told my mill I forgot to include something inside, and took it. She didn't ask questions. Just nodded, probably sensing something was off. Robert never called to ask what happened. Never said thank you. Never even mentioned it again. So I started keeping score. Every time I was asked to help set up for a family event, I said no. Every birthday card request? Forgot. Every favor? Busy. Every time they invited us over? We were already booked. My husband noticed. He asked why I was being distant. I told him the truth. I told him his dad humiliated me in front of 150 people after I spent 50 unpaid hours making something personal, and I was done pretending it didn't bother me. He told me I was being dramatic. That Robert was just joking. That's when I stopped talking. I started selling custom boxes again. First locally, then online. They sold out every time. Reviews were amazing. I started gaining traction, posting videos of my process. Before long, I had a following. Not millions, but enough to matter. One day, my husband said, "Hey, my dad was asking about one of your boxes. I think he wants one." I didn't even look up. I just said, "I bet he does." That was 6 months ago. I haven't given him anything. About a month after that short conversation with my husband, I got a DM on Instagram from a woman named Tracy. She runs a small boutique in Milwaukee that sells locally made home goods, candles, pottery, handwoven stuff, the works. She'd seen one of my woodworking videos on Reels and wanted to carry my pieces in her store. I said yes. That one message kicked off the busiest season of my life. Orders came in fast. I stopped taking custom work and focused on limited run designs. My evenings were filled with sawdust, music, and the quiet satisfaction of carving something beautiful. My shop was finally paying real bills. Around this same time, my husband started acting weird. Distant, but also nervous. Like he was walking on eggshells. He stopped bringing up his parents altogether. I didn't press. I had work to do. I was tired of carrying the emotional weight of his family drama and running a business. Then came the family barbecue. Every July, his side of the family does a huge cookout at a cousin's house in the suburbs. I didn't want to go. My husband begged me. Said it would be low-key, that Robert probably wouldn't even be there. Robert was not only there, he was holding court. As soon as we walked in, he smiled wide and said, "Well, look who decided to show up. I was beginning to think you were tired too, sweetheart." I didn't laugh. I nodded and walked past him like he wasn't there. Later, while I was getting a soda in the kitchen, I heard him talking in the backyard. Loud enough for anyone nearby to hear. "I still don't get why she's so touchy," he said. "It's just a box. What's it even worth?" $40. Someone laughed. A cousin, I think. That was it. I was done. That night, I told my husband I was officially out. No more pretending. No more small talk. I would be civil, but I wasn't going to any more events. I wasn't sending gifts. I wasn't tolerating his father treating me like I was a joke. My husband sat on the couch for a long time. Didn't say much. Then finally said, "You know he has cancer, right?" I didn't. Stage 2 pancreatic. Not terminal yet. Treatable. But serious. And, just like that, I was supposed to feel guilty. I was supposed to forget the years of comments. The eye rolls. The way he always introduced me as the artsy one. The way he'd say, "So what does that really pay?" every time someone mentioned my work. Suddenly, everyone wanted me to be the bigger person. Life is short. You don't want regrets. He didn't mean it like that. I stayed quiet. But the part that really messed with my head? 2 weeks later, I got an email from Tracy again. She'd gotten a message through her store's website from someone claiming to be a concerned customer, saying she should be careful about the ethics and political views of the people she partners with. I asked to see it. She sent a screenshot. It was from Robert's personal email. The same one he used for family stuff. The same one I've seen in dozens of forwarded jokes and birthday invites. He tried to tank my business. I stared at the screen for a long time. My hands were shaking. I didn't cry. I just got cold. Numb. I called my husband at work. "Your dad tried to screw with my business." "What?" "I have the email. He sent it to Tracy. He used his real name. His real email. What kind of idiot do you have to be? I'll talk to him." "No, don't." "Why not?" "Because this is between me and him now." That was the day I stopped giving a damn about how it would look. No more soft voice. No more playing the peacemaker. He made it war. And I don't lose those. So now I knew the truth. Robert, my father-in-law, went behind my back, messaged a business partner of mine pretending to be a concerned citizen, trying to warn her about my ethics and political views. Which is rich coming from a man who once told a waitress she looked too pretty to be wearing pants. I didn't confront him right away. I needed time. I needed to think. And I needed to be smart. You don't walk into a war without knowing the terrain. So I started watching. Quietly. I talked to Tracy and we laughed about the email. She actually offered to frame it and hang it in the store as a reminder of how scared bitter men get when women succeed. I told her not to delete it. Just in case. Then I started digging a little. Here's the thing about people like Robert. They like the sound of their own voice. He's all over Facebook. Still has a LinkedIn, even though he's retired. And his retirement? That wasn't as clean as he made it seem. Turns out, he wasn't just retiring because he wanted to. He was asked to leave. Quietly. After some comments during a company diversity workshop. I only know this because a friend of mine used to contract for the same company. Small world, huh? Then something else dropped into my lap. My husband's cousin, Rachel, called me. She's always been kind to me. Said she needed to talk. Rachel told me that Robert wasn't just being casually bitter at the barbecue. He'd been telling people that I had tried to use his retirement party as a way to show him up. That I used it to sell my products, and that I planned the whole thing to embarrass him. It took everything in me not to scream into the phone. He was rewriting the story, painting himself as the poor victim of his oversensitive daughter-in-law. I told Rachel thank you. Hung up. And that's when I decided I was going to do something I should have done a long time ago. I made another box. This one wasn't walnut. It was black locust, harder, heavier, sharp edges, no soft details. It had metal corners, scorched accents, and a lock on the front. Inside, I left a single note. You said it was just a box. Here's another one. Try opening this one with your mouth. I didn't send it yet. Instead, I brought it to our next family dinner. Yes, I went. Sat at the table. Passed the potatoes. Smiled at his wife. Waited. Then, before dessert, I said, "Oh, I made something." Thought Robert might want to open it. He looked confused. Opened it in front of everyone. The room went quiet when he read the note. He closed the box. Didn't say a word. My husband stared at me, wide-eyed. I looked at Robert. And I said, "Now you can say you have a second one you didn't earn." No one laughed. Robert stood up, walked out the back door. Everyone stared at me like I slapped the Pope. I ate my dessert in peace. Then I left. Next day, my husband got a call from his dad. This is where it gets weird. Apparently, Robert's lawyer had called him earlier that week about unauthorized use of his name online. One of his old colleagues saw something I posted about woodworking and connected the dots. He thought Robert was involved. He wasn't. But suddenly he was worried about his name being tied to my growing business. He wanted me to sign something, some kind of agreement that I wouldn't use the family name in any of my work. I laughed when my husband told me. "I never even liked your last name," I said. Then I went online and I changed everything. All my accounts. All my branding. I started using my maiden name again. But I didn't stop there. I sent copies of the email he wrote to Tracy to a few family members who'd asked what was really going on. No comment. Just a screenshot. Let them draw their own conclusions. Suddenly, invites stopped coming. Group texts got quieter. I became that one. But I didn't care. Because for once, the truth wasn't just mine to carry. It was out there. And Robert? He was finally quiet. Things went quiet for a while after I dropped that second box. No more calls from Robert. No texts from my ML. Family group chat went dead. My husband was in the middle as usual. They just need time, he kept saying. I didn't argue. I just focused on my shop. By fall, things really took off. One of my box designs went viral after a lifestyle influencer posted about it. Orders exploded. I hired 2 part-time helpers. I even got invited to a handmade goods expo in Indianapolis. My name was on banners. I was doing it. Without anyone's approval. Without Robert's sarcasm. Without anyone pretending I was just a woman with a hobby. Then the hammer dropped. My husband came home one night, quiet, tense. Sat down, rubbed his face like he was about to confess to a crime. "I have to tell you something," he said. He pulled up a copy of a bank statement on his phone. A joint account he and his father used years ago, back when they were doing a real estate thing together. Apparently, Robert had borrowed 10 grand from it in July. Without saying a word. But that wasn't the worst part. He used it to hire a consultant to manage his public image online. A PR guy. He paid someone to fix his online reputation, just in case anything from my business or social media connected back to him. Let me say that again. The man tried to erase me from his digital life. And he used our money to do it. That's when I saw red. You want revenge? Here's how it starts. I called Tracy. Asked if she still had the original email from Robert. She did. Then I called the Small Business Association chapter in Chicago, where Robert was listed as a mentor volunteer for retired professionals. Sent them the email too. No message. Just the facts. A man targeting a woman-owned business with false accusations. A few days later, he was politely released from his volunteer duties. But I wasn't finished. I took the walnut box. The original one, the retirement gift he never thanked me for. I posted a video on my channel. Titled it, "The Box I Made for the Man Who Called It Junk." Told the whole story. Every word. From the party, to the joke, to the email, to the PR cleanup. I kept names out of it, but anyone who knew us, they knew. The video blew up. 200,000 views in a week. Comments rolled in. People sharing their own family stories. Their own Robert moments. But here's the twist. I didn't feel better. I felt tired. Tired of carrying this fight. Tired of the anger. Even revenge has a weight to it. That night, I went into my workshop alone. Sat in the dark. Looked at the black locust box, the one I gave him at that last dinner. The one with the note. And I cried, not out of regret, out of loss. Because even though he hurt me deeply, I knew I had turned into someone I didn't recognize. Cold. Strategic. Vengeful. And my husband? He was still there. Still caught in the middle. Watching his father crumble and his wife harden. So I made a choice. I wrote a letter. Not for Robert. For me. I loved you like family. I tried. I gave you time, energy, art, and kindness. You laughed at it. Mocked it. Tried to erase it. I'm not angry anymore. But I'm done trying to prove I'm worth respect. I don't owe you anything. I just hope one day you figure out what real value looks like, before the last person who loves you forgets why they ever did. I didn't send it, but I read it out loud. Then I burned it in the same fire pit he built in our yard years ago. Let the ashes blow into the wind. That was my ending. A quiet fire. No more boxes. Just closure.